When you hear hacker returns billions, your brain expects a movie montage, right? The real story of the Bitfinex hack is stranger and more human than most thrillers. A massive 2016 theft of Bitcoin, years of on-chain sleuthing, a dramatic federal seizure, and a couple who pleaded guilty, all culminating in authorities reclaiming roughly $3 to $4 billion worth of Bitcoin that had been stolen 9 years earlier. It's not just a tale about money. It's about blockchain traceability, hubris, and how law enforcement learned to follow crypto like bloodhounds. The video is going to be interesting, so make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for more future updates. Let's get into the video. The theft that started it all. In August 2016, Bitfinex, a major crypto exchange, was hacked. Around 119,000 Bitcoins were quietly siphoned off. At the time, the haul was worth tens of millions. By the time law enforcement closed in years later, those same coins were worth billions. The hack exposed how a combination of operational security gaps and creative criminal tradecraft could turn a contained breach into a saga that followed the price of Bitcoin itself. Why follow the blockchain matters. One of the reasons this case got solved is that Bitcoin's ledger is public. Transactions leave permanent traces, and investigators used blockchain analysis to follow the coin's journey through mixers, marketplaces, and conversion attempts. That visibility turns blockchain into both a tool for laundering and, paradoxically, a giant CCTV tape investigators can rewind. Over time, the pattern of movements gave law enforcement the clues they needed to narrow down suspects. Enter the couple, Ilya and Heather. In early 2022, U.S. authorities arrested a New York couple, Ilya Lichtenstein and Heather Morgan, the latter online as Razzlecon. Federal prosecutors allege the pair conspired to launder the stolen Bitfinex coins. The dramatic arrest came after investigators obtained a key, material stored in a cloud account, that led to wallet passwords and access to funds. It's a reminder that even the cleverest crypto obfuscation can be undone by one sloppy or exposed credential. The return. How much was seized? When authorities moved in, they seized approximately 94,000 to 95,000 Bitcoins from wallets tied to the couple, valued at roughly $3.6 billion at the time of seizure, and later additional assets linked to the case. That seizure is often described in headlines as, "The hacker returned $3 billion," but it's more accurate to say law enforcement recovered and seized the coins after gaining access to private keys. The recovery was one of the largest crypto seizures in history. Motive. Why would anyone give it back? The phrase "gave it back" sounds voluntary, but the reality is murkier. There are a few explanations. The couple didn't quietly decide to be generous. Rather, investigators found keys, passwords, and legally seized the assets. In court filings and plea statements, prosecutors say Lichtenstein admitted to the hack and the laundering, which led to negotiated resolutions and forfeiture of coins. So, this return is best read as the result of police work and legal leverage, not a conscience moment on a mountaintop. The human side. Razzlecon and the headlines. Heather Morgan's internet persona, a rapper who posted eccentric content and a published business writer, made the case a media magnet. The couple's story fed a cultural curiosity, how two seemingly ordinary, even quirky people could be part of an enormously sophisticated crypto laundering operation. That contrast, ordinary exterior, extraordinary crime, helped the story transcend tech media and go mainstream. Legal outcomes and sentences. In 2023, both pleaded guilty to money laundering-related charges. In November 2024, Ilya Lichtenstein was sentenced to 5 years in prison, and Heather Morgan received a shorter term for related counts. The sentences, while significant, were seen by some as lower than maximum statutory exposure, a reminder that plea agreements, admissions, and cooperation can dramatically affect outcomes. Where the money goes, restitution and Bitfinex claims. Once coins are seized, they don't just vanish into government pockets. Courts decide restitution and forfeiture paths. Bitfinex, the victimized exchange, sought to reclaim funds to reimburse users and to execute plans. It previously issued recovery tokens called LEO to compensate losses. There have been court approvals and administrative steps to return seized assets to Bitfinex or to handle claims from victims, a procedural process that can take years. Bigger lessons for crypto security. This episode taught two big lessons. First, exchanges must harden operational security, multi-sig, key management, logging. Second, blockchain transparency means crypto isn't a guaranteed escape route. Clever laundering can work for a while, but transactions remain traceable. Regulators and exchanges have since tightened controls and monitoring tools, and criminals face more sophisticated forensic teams. The game of cat and mouse keeps evolving, but the balance has tilted toward investigators thanks to analytics and cross-border cooperation. Why the story still matters. Beyond the dollars, this saga is a case study in accountability in a nascent financial system. It shows that digital crime can be traced, litigated, and, at least partially, made whole. It also illustrates how personalities shape narratives. A hacker isn't always anonymous, and the quirks of suspects can turn legal cases into cultural touchpoints. Finally, it's a warning to would-be thieves that blockchain's public ledger can become their undoing. A strange closure, not a fairy tale. So, did the hacker have a sudden stroke of conscience and mail back billions? Not exactly. What happened was, law enforcement slowly followed a trail of digital breadcrumbs, seized the keys to wallets, and legally recovered an enormous cache of stolen Bitcoin. The public return feels poetic because money once lost to the anonymous void re-emerged, but the mechanics were decidedly prosaic. Forensic work, warrants, plea deals, and court orders. Hope you guys enjoyed our video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for more videos. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.